If you're someone who's wondered what the last 5 years of Schumann resonance charts look like, right? What did the data look like, right? You guys want to know what it looks like? I got you. Not only that, but I'm not gonna lie, you're gonna be questioning some things, probably raise an eyebrow because there is definitely weird activity. Not only is there weird activity in the last 5 plus years, but of course, it'll actually question. It makes you question everything that we know about the Schumann resonance. So by all means, welcome on everyone. Joe Sky here. We got to get into this. So here is 2019. We're gonna be like going through it pretty quick. Um, so let's kick off with it. So here is early January, or wrong, it's actually not. So the way they started this one in 2019 was a bit different. I'm going to be honest with you, this probably is the most chaotic year we've ever had. We even have 2018 in here too. Interesting. I don't know how, but we do. All right. So we got 1 1, 1 2. This has to be like January. Um, let's go. So as you can see on one of the days, pretty big activity here over here. You know, power 70 freaking 6. What the hell? We never expected to be like that. It looks very rainbowy. Then of course you've had these other days. Actually, those are the same days. Going over here, keep skimming through. Definitely some activity. But you'll notice something in 2019 though. We're noticing this pattern here. Um, very like intense power 80. And the thing on the left was a power 50, almost a power 60. What am I saying? Um, you're noticing really weird activity. Power 48. You're noticing really high intense activity, and this was a period of solar minimum. We're gonna get into that too, by the way. Um, Power 70. That's January 19. I mean, what is up with this, right? All this is just straight up intense. It's like a shower of energy. Very odd activity. Definitely something we barely see these days. So that was 2019. Let's jump into 2020. So in December of 2019, though, we had pretty much one big rain shower day around the 28th. On January of 2020, I'm not gonna lie, it looked like a pretty intense year. A bunch of blackouts and a lot of activity. February looked kind of quiet. March and April were super intense. May, not bad. Um, Definitely quite a bit of activity. Odd activity in September, early September, we're noticing going into October. You know what I've noticed? October, November, and December's those months tend to be a bit quiet. Moving into January of 2021, had a couple of days of big energy. February was kind of active. March we had multiple blackouts. Um, April kind of calm. We had a really busy May. June, most of June was just blocked out. Oh my goodness, right now. Um, August always tends to be a pretty busy month, and yeah. How ironic. October 10th there was a blackout. Hmm. So there is 2021. Let's go into 2022. Definitely got some activity here. February looks active. March. Um, you definitely got a lot of activity going on here in 2022. You're definitely seeing some of these, I call it rain shower energies here. September was very calm though, and October was super calm. November was calm. December was calm. That's very, very interesting here. 2023 was insane. Look at the blackouts we've had. Kicking off January. February was super calm. March, not bad. April, a little bit of activity. Um, then, of course, you had this. I don't even know what the hell that is in June. That must be like a malfunction or something. That was definitely something to question here. July, we had wow, a lot of activity in July. August, What the world? Why is there two August? Okay, we can't trust that. September, October, we had some activity. November, December. All right. And now let's take a look at 2024. So we're pretty much just going through all this activity pretty quick. That's pretty much the point. 2024. Now, we had an X class every freaking week at this point, right? Like, we had about 50 something. We've never had anything like that in 30, 40 years. Pretty insane what we had in 2024. One of the craziest years. Massive storm, by the way. January looks active, but not too active, right? Looks nothing. Wait, do I even have that? Yeah, it looks nothing like 2019, which was solar minimum. I mean, look at this. Just look at the amount of activity we had. Um, I don't know. February we had some activity. You would think it'd be more active, right? March, April wasn't bad. April was kind of crazy though. We had some definitely some crazy periods in April. June was bananas. Um, July was intense. August had some days. September, I don't even know what the hell happened in September. What happened? Yeah. December had a really weird couple of periods of just straight up boom activity. Yeah. So, um, I guess I could show you 2025 as well. January 2025. So pretty big activity in January. February was calm. Then it was active, and then we had a very odd moment in the 27th. March was, April was active. May was pretty quiet, in my opinion. June, we had a lot of activity spikes. July, everybody remembers July. August was the craziest. Yeah, August is the craziest month of all time. August 2025, each day was just insane. From the 6th all the way until the 19th, there was a spike. Yeah, I don't think anything could top August of 2025. Nothing is even close. September was awfully quiet, and then you guys know we did November and whatnot. October, of course, they haven't updated November. October, it started strong and then it had a little kick in the end, but yeah, it's weird. Let me tell you. Let me tell you. So that is last 5+ years of activity. Now, when you look at everything, you think to yourself, what really impacts the Schumann resonance? Now, there's a lot of things that impact the Schumann resonance, though, right? So, in my opinion, strong thunderstorm activity is number one. And that's just a fact. Solar activity, space weather. To be honest, I don't know. I don't know. I mean, it don't look that intense. It don't look like it always impacts it. I'm serious. September would have been crazy. You guys saw the freaking coronal hole in September. Um, October we had so much stuff going on. It should have been crazier. It was a busy October, but then I don't know. It looks like weather is the main thing. That's number one. I don't think solar activity always impacts the ionosphere and impacts any sort of like energy within the ionosphere and the earth and whatnot. I don't think so. It looks like it is, but it doesn't seem to be that crazy. Why was 2019 freaking insane, right? Like, right? 2020 was insane too. And if you look at solar activity, we were in solar minimum. We were very calm during those periods in 2019, 2020. Um, it's weird, right? It's super weird. So, I don't know. It looks like solar activity plays a part, but I don't think it always plays a part. So, that's something to think about. That is definitely something to think about. Um, but I definitely think it's weather that's the main thing here. And that's why, excuse me, we have so many blackouts in January and February because of the weather in Russia. So, overall, you know, I think there's definitely a lot to really get into, a lot to break down. But I think it's pretty clear that solar activity is not. And I think just looking at this stuff, it's pretty clear that solar activity does not play the major role in the Schumann resonance. I don't think this plays a major role in our ascension. I do believe it correlates with geomagnetic activity. I do believe it correlates with solar activity, but not as much as we think. Um, it's not always going to cause it to spike. Therefore, I know there's been so much stuff about people saying it's fake data. They do this to it. They're hijacking or something like that. It's not that big of a deal. It has nothing to do with our ascension. At the end of the day, I think it's pretty clear that Schumann resonance plays a big role in our mind, and that is huge. A big role in our mind, and you're either gonna get some good night of sleep or maybe you won't. I don't know, but overall, I don't think it plays that big of a role. So I feel like it's solar activity that has bothered us the most. I think it's solar activity that has brought most of the symptoms that we experience. And yes, there's many, many, many factors that can impact and disrupt the Schumann resonance, and therefore it's hard to say what it is, where it comes from. And that's the same thing for the Italian Schumann resonance. That is what I could tell you, and I think that's just pretty much just straight up truth right there. Um, I think there's been a lot of things people have talked about it as well, with the fact that, oh, the Earth's frequency is rising. I mean, it's 7.83 and it's calm and it still is. So that's not changing at all. Right? That new baseline, that 7.83, it's still there. It ain't changing. So anybody saying all this stuff, uh, it would have changed by now. It would have. We're 5 years in. We're definitely in the year of Aquarius. However you want to go about it, that baseline didn't change. 7.83 is still calm. You can still listen to it. Um, yeah. And a lot of people are putting massive misinformation about there. Massive misinformation with the Schumann resonance and ascension. A lot of people are wrong. We have a lot to learn. We don't know everything. We're going to continue. And that's the process. So, thank you all so much for watching. And I'm ascending. I'm leveling up. I'm feeling great. I hope you are too. I'll see you next time.